Today I'm gonna build 5 LEGO Turbine engines to test which ones can generate the most power. Make sure you guys stick to the end because the last one, it's gonna blow you away. Also, this video is sponsored by Shopify, but more on them later. Essentially, each one of these engines we're trying to build is going to take some sort of natural force like water or air or heat, and they're going to turn that into electricity or rotational energy. Starting with our first build, which is going to be a vacuum turbine. If we build together a couple of these little cylinder pieces with an exit on both sides, then that should let us control the direction of the airflow. So now look, this is what it's supposed to do. We're gonna have the air, which is going to suck from this side, and then if we cap this off and create a little spinny thing on the inside of this, we should be able to take an axle from that and it should spin. Then we just need something with wings to attach to that. I'm gonna use a few of these gears and then just attach some lift arms to the top of these, and that should hopefully create a little wings propeller. All right, now we just gotta attach that to this axle inside this guy. Now, will that work? Probably not, because it's not taking up the entire thing. We might just need to make the blades a little bigger. Okay, I've added a few more pieces to seal this in a little bit better. Let's see if this works. Why is it turning that way? Oh, I get it now. So we need to put this box shape up here, because then no matter which side we go from, it'll be sucking air across and this thing will keep spinning. Quick redesign. So to actually test the energy output of these turbines, I have here this LEGO education set, and on the inside of it are a bunch of cool electronics like the solar panel and some lights, but the important part inside of here is this thing. This is a type of LEGO voltage meter, and when we hook it up to this little battery here and this special motor that it comes with, we can actually utilize this motor as a generator and then calculate how much energy it's producing. And then to test the speed of our motors, we have this little LEGO Technic speed gauge, and that'll let us see the RPM the turbines are generating. The first thing we're gonna measure is speed. We're gonna take our speed meter and snap it right on top like that. Let's see here. Stick our vacuum up to the side in 3, 2. Come on now. There we go. 2,000, look at that. It's spinning. All right, what do we got? 2,560 RPM. That's rotations per minute, which isn't bad, but we can conduct a quick torque test with just a tire. So that'll add a little bit of weight to it too, which should be nice. This thing has absolutely zero torque. So I'm gonna give power a 1 out of 10. Speed, we got 2560. I'm gonna give that an 8 out of 10, because that's pretty good. And electricity generated 0, because it doesn't have enough torque to actually spin our generator. Luckily, the next one should be a lot stronger. The next turbine I want to build is a water turbine, which is powered by water, also known as a water wheel. So back in the olden days, they would have these giant water wheels attached to houses, and the wheel would sit over a flowing stream of water, which would cause it to turn, and they could power stuff inside their house, create electricity, I think. I think the best way to start this is to create a shape using these guys. These are these little angled bits. When you snap together 8 of them, you can create a nice octagon shape with stud connection, which is exactly what we need. So now if we grab some plates and we snap this guy together, and to make this so that it can actually be attached to an axle and pivot, we're just gonna use one of these guys, which really, that doesn't fit across. LEGO. Seriously? I really thought this thing would fit across. I know what to do. Oh, no shot, that actually worked. There's the center. And now we can spin this like a water wheel. All we have to do is just create buckets or little flaps that will actually be attached to this. That way when the stream is running, it'll actually push the flaps and cause this thing to spin. And then to create our scoops, we're just gonna build a few bricks down from each of these, and the water should hit that and make this turn. Pro tip, if you're ever missing one piece, just lock together 3 plates, and boom, you have a brick. This is winter, and I'm not gonna go find a stream somewhere. So I'm gonna build up a LEGO stream inside this tank using a water pump and a bunch of bricks. That way we should be able to just take our turbine and set it right in the middle to test if it works. And while I'm doing that, I can tell you about this video's sponsor, Shopify, the all-in-one commerce platform that lets you sell both online and in person, making it easy to start your new business venture at any skill level. I've been using Shopify to manage my online store where we sell these little buildable figures. I didn't really know what I was doing when I first started, but Shopify makes it really easy to add new products and customize things the way I like. All I have to do is just drag and drop. Just so this thing doesn't float up to the top, I got some rocks here. I'm gonna take those and just stack them against this wall in the back. So say I wanna build a store selling these stylish LEGO watches. I can just take a picture of the product with my phone, and then using their fancy AI tool Shopify Magic, I can actually remove the background and generate something a bit more professional. Dang, these are actually pretty cool. I can also use Shopify Magic to write my product's description, just give it a few keywords. Check that out. so easy, and I literally did all that from the mobile app on my phone. So we take our water pump here, we'll take our tubing and run that all the way back behind this wall, and theoretically, this should work to pump water. Shopify is making commerce accessible to entrepreneurs at any scale. And if you're selling in person, they also just expanded their tap-to-pay system to Android as well, so you aren't just limited to selling online. I've also built this guy, which is based on an old Lego set I used to have, and I've built in a special feature. It's like a blacksmith house. And there we go. So I had this filled up all the way above the pump, and it's just not pumping enough water to actually move the wheel. So we're gonna pretend there's a waterfall in a mountain right here. With Shopify making it as easy as ever to start your new venture, there's no excuse not to build your dream business. So to get a free trial, you can go to shopify.com/brickscience or click the first link down in the description. Let's test this thing out. Turn on the pump, the water goes up the tube. Come on, there we go. Yeah! We now have a water-powered turbine, check it out. We can even probably make this go a little bit faster by adding some sort of buckets instead of the paddles on the wheel. I think if we hold the thing, oh yeah, just a little higher, get a little bit of a better waterfall. It's also hitting the hammer in the back, which is not working every time, but it's still working. Let's test the speed on it though. If we go full power, we are getting 0. So for the RPM, we're getting nothing significant, but we can actually see if this will generate some power with our motor. I'm gonna attach this directly into this box. We gotta go full power for this. Okay. 1.2 volts, not terrible, not great either. It definitely doesn't have a lot of torque, that's for sure. The thing is, at this scale too, water's not as heavy as, why is it flashing? What? I don't know what we did, I think we broke it. What I was saying was, there's a lot of friction here. For all 3 factors, I'm gonna give this one like a 1 out of 10. It's not super fast, it doesn't have a lot of torque, and in this case, it doesn't generate that much energy. The next build on the list is a Tesla turbine, actually invented by Nikola Tesla himself. According to my research, the Tesla turbine actually doesn't have any rotors. It's comprised of discs. To build this in Lego, we're going to actually use some CDs for the blade. And when we shoot compressed air into this, the discs are going to spin individually. And the air coupled with the smooth surfaces of the discs are going to create laminar flow to spin them around. And the air needs to exit right about here. So first we need to figure out how to attach these discs together. My first thought was, let's take an axle and a 2x2 brick. And now we can stick this guy right in here. Except it's just too big for the opening of the discs. Well, that disc is busted. I did discover a piece that fits inside this, which is a little Lego tire, and if you put a gear inside of it, it expands just enough, and also gives us an axle attachment point, and then we find something to go around that piece as the spacer. A Lego rubber band. Put that guy on here, then we can put our next disc that isn't broken right on top of there, and we can do that one more time for the final disc here. Check out that spacing, that is like almost perfect. Now, we just lack the air exit, so we're gonna have to drill holes in a few discs. Hopefully the air should be able to flow through there. Now we just need to build a housing for this out of Lego with one entrance, and then we need to build the exit right over this area. I'm using these Lego glass panels on the front to actually build this up because I don't want the air to have anywhere else to go than around the smooth discs and out through all those holes we drilled. Here we have our Tesla turbine. I think it turned out pretty cool actually. We got our shiny discs on the inside, and hopefully those should give us some pretty good RPM. Also, since the discs are so heavy, I'm thinking it'll give us some good torque too. Let's see how fast this goes. Whoa. What happened? Here, we might have broken it. That's what you get when you engineer things out of rubber and plastic. I think the rubber bands moved, that's not good. We're gonna have to basically glue these discs onto the axle because right now the axle is just spinning while the discs aren't. All right, here we go. See how much power we can generate, if any. Oh dang, look at that. Dude, this has got some good torque to be able to spin that motor. I'm kind of curious how much power we can generate here. It's spinning really fast, that's for sure. Whoa, just with that, we've already built up 8 volts. We can take that power we just generated with our Tesla turbine and put it onto our motor, and we can see how much power that is. Let's see. Okay, so it wasn't that much power, but it ran the motor. That's cool, right? I'm gonna test the RPM one more time here. Let's see how fast we can get it. It's still going. We maxed out the RPM. That is insane. Let's try it with a tire on the front too. So let's check this out. Did you see the tire expand? Dude, Tesla turbines are dope. I'm gonna say 10 out of 10 RPM because we maxed it out. We'll give electricity 10 out of 10 as well because that built up to 8 volts like really fast. And then for torque, I'm gonna honestly just give this like an 8 out of 10. That's not bad. I'd arguably say the Tesla turbine is the best one so far. It's gonna be hard to outdo this one, honestly. The next turbine I want to build is a steam-powered turbine. And I want to clarify, this is not a steam engine. So I've got a bunch of LEGO propellers here, and each one of them is a little bit different. The problem is, most of the good ones don't have an axle. Without an axle, we can't actually generate any power. So I think we're gonna have to design our own. To actually generate our steam, I bought this steam cleaner, which has this little nozzle that'll shoot out steam super duper fast. The thing about this though is that the steam is really hot. Don't do this at home. Interesting. Maybe kind of like the vacuum powered one, we actually need some flaps instead of blades. And then hopefully what we can do is take these and turn them into a propeller. And we kind of connect them at angles all around a little central thing. Then we should have those scoops where the air will hit. I think if we take one of these little wheel pieces, it has 6 holes in it. So what we can do is add some of these pieces. Then we can add our little bars and then add our blades to the outside of that. Then just duplicate this one more time with the flags upside down. We can sandwich them together. Boom. That is actually pretty cool. Let's give that a whirl. I think that'll work. So all these guys actually folded over, but we could use a couple of these clips on the inside of the pieces to stop them from moving around. Now these guys can't move over anymore. I think we can just build up a simple housing with a Technic brick at the back. Once we do that, we should be ready to test this thing out. So here we have our finished design for the steam-powered motor. I just added some fun details as well as this piece, which has a tiny little hole through it so we can actually shoot the steam in one direction. We're gonna start with speed. Don't do this at home. All right, let's see what she can do. Put it right through here. Good grief. 3,300, 3,540, 3,580, 3,600 RPM. Dude. I was definitely not expecting that, and that thing actually worked really, really well. From what I can see, none of the blades broke off and nothing melted because the water cooled just in time. Now let's get rid of this thing and test how much electricity this thing can produce. All right, here goes. I think we're gonna need to implement a gear ratio. The purpose of the gear ratio is to make it so that this actually has the torque to spin our motor and then generate the power. Look at that. That's so much easier to spin now. Okay, currently says 0 joules. Let's see what we got here. It's working. 1 joule. 4.4 volts. Whoa, 5 volts. Let's see how much energy we can build up with this. 9 joules. Wow, this is working really well. 10 joules. Wow. 15 joules. Dude, that's insane. Oh gosh, it has a little thing on it that says we put too much power into it. I think for being a tiny little steam engine, this one worked really, really well. So I'd give it a 2 out of 10 on power, a 10 out of 10 on speed, and then maybe like a 5 out of 10 on electricity, because we were getting a solid 4.5 volts generated, which is pretty good. And while that was pretty cool, the final build is going to be even cooler, because I'm gonna build an air-powered turbine. But instead of building a big white 3-pronged fan, because that'd be super lame, I'm gonna build mine into a jet engine turbo fan. So the first thing we need is the actual fan that's gonna go on the front of the jet engine. So I have these little propellers here. If we put a bunch of these in the circle and then attach them together, giving each one a little bit of an angle, that should let enough air into the engine to actually make it work. And since LEGO is not fireproof, we're not actually going to be combusting fuel inside this thing. We're just gonna build it up to look like a jet engine and then see if it can generate power. So I attached all these to these little spider pieces because they have 8 connections. And if we sandwich 2 together, that will give us our shape, but these things all being attached to hinges, so they're super flimsy. But we can connect a bunch of these together, and that gives us 8 connections. And then we connect these to that and then do another one underneath it. This might be it. Here we have our finished propeller design. I'm gonna put this little guy on the top here to cap everything together and finish off the front of it. For the housing for this, we're going to need a big circle, and I'm gonna build that using hinges and plates. So if we connect a bunch of these guys end to end, we should have a big enough circle. We just have to cover this in a bunch of plates and tiles to complete it and make it look like a jet engine. Then we'll just have to find a way to attach our turbine to the inside. So basically I just built this up using some wedge plates and a bunch of tiles on the outside to give it a smooth finish. And then to lock that together so it doesn't fall apart, I have some Technic running through the center of it here. So now we can install the propeller on the inside of this. So it just goes right into there and spins. And then if we're talking about like a turbofan jet engine, there's several other propellers inside it to compress the air. The last thing I'm gonna add to this is just a simple afterburner on the back, and then we'll actually test this thing out and see how much power it can generate. All right, our final turbine. I've actually built this one with a special feature, which is it not being completely done. So it has like a cutaway, so you can actually see the inside of what's going on. We have all of the propellers, which can spin freely. I also added in these little igniters. So in a real jet engine, the fuel would go through these and be ignited and mixed with the air. That's a dumbed down version, but essentially how it works. And to actually have enough air coming into this so we can power it, I'm going to use a leaf blower. First, let's see how much electricity this can generate. Our voltage meter broke, so to measure how much power is coming out of this, we're gonna start with the lights. There's 10% power. 20% power. It's spinning. Are the lights lighting up? Not quite. A little more. Oh, we're getting light. That's 80% power. So for power generation, we have absolutely 0%. So that's a 0 out of 10. For torque, it's not terrible. It's actually able to spin the motor, which takes quite a bit of torque. So I'm gonna give that maybe a 5 out of 10. But the final ultimate test is to see how fast this jet turbine is actually spinning. I'm gonna start at 10% power. Okay, working? All right. Here's 20, 30, 50, 75%, the 100% power. It's spinning, it's going fast. Uh-oh, something's rattling. If it explodes, back up. Oh, we lost the propeller blade. It's still going. Look at that, dude, that's crazy. We're losing pieces left and right. Oh no. Oh no. Oh man, what are we at? 680. It says 680 RPM, not bad for a jet engine. I think it started catching on the walls and then that's why they started falling off. There's really not much else we can test with this. Guys, huge thanks for watching. Check out one of these two videos popping up on your screen. Big thanks to Shopify for sponsoring this video, and I'll talk to you in the next Brick Science. See ya.